Imagine a Viking woman, cloaked in darkness, her voice a low chant that sends shivers through a silent longhouse. Her words don't just speak. They summon spirits, twist fates, and curse the living. This is Seidr, a forbidden sorcery so powerful it could unravel a warrior's courage or raise the dead from their graves. In the Norse world, where blood and steel ruled, Seidr was a secret art that both awed and horrified, practiced by those who dared to walk the razor's edge between mortal and divine. What was this shadowy craft, and why did it terrify even the fiercest Vikings? Let's unravel its sinister mysteries. Seidr was not a parlor trick, but a complex ritual rooted in Norse spirituality. Practitioners, often women, entered trance-like states to commune with spirits, gods, or the dead. The Laxdæla saga recounts a Völva named Thorbjorg, who, draped in a blue cloak and adorned with beads, chanted over a high seat to summon visions of the future. These rituals were elaborate, involving rhythmic songs, staffs, and sometimes psychoactive substances. The goal? To access hidden knowledge or manipulate destiny, whether to ensure a bountiful harvest or doom a rival. What makes Seidr sinister is its intimacy with the unseen. Unlike the blood-soaked sacrifices of the Blot, Seidr was a private, almost invasive art. Practitioners claimed to speak with Disir ancestral spirits, or even summon Draugr, the restless dead, to haunt the living. A chilling account in the Eyrbyggja saga describes a Völva raising a corpse to extract secrets, her chants forcing the dead to speak. This wasn't just magic. It was a violation of the natural order, a practice that made even hardened Vikings uneasy. At the heart of Seidr stood the Völva, a figure both revered and shunned. These women were not mere witches, but spiritual leaders, wielding influence that rivaled chieftains. Archaeological evidence, like a grave in Gland, Sweden, reveals a Völva buried with a 32-inch iron staff, glass beads, and a pouch of henbane seeds known for their hallucinogenic properties. Such finds suggest Völvas used drugs to induce visions, their trances transporting them to realms beyond mortal reach. Völvas were outsiders, often living on society's fringes. Their power came from their liminal status, neither fully of this world nor the next. The saga of Eric the Red describes a Völva whose arrival in a Greenland settlement sparked awe and fear, her strange attire and cryptic words unsettling the community. Some Völvas were said to curse entire families, their prophecies sparking feuds that lasted generations. Their ability to manipulate fate made them dangerous, and many faced suspicion or exile when their predictions failed or hit too close to home. Seidr's most shocking aspect was its gender stigma. While women were its primary practitioners, men who dared practice Seidr faced dire consequences. The Norse term ergi, meaning unmanly or perverse, was hurled at male Seidr practitioners. A slur so grave could lead to banishment or death. The Ynglinga saga recounts King Yngvi, mocked and shunned for using Seidr, despite its association with Odin himself. Even the Allfather, the god of wisdom and war, faced scorn in the Lokasenna for dabbling in this woman's craft. Why was Seidr so taboo for men? It stemmed from Viking ideals of masculinity, which prized physical prowess over spiritual manipulation. Seidr required submission to trance, to spirits, to vulnerability, a state deemed shameful for warriors. Some sagas hint at sexual elements in Seidr rituals, where practitioners mimicked or performed acts to channel divine energy, further fueling the stigma. This gendered divide reveals a darker side of Viking society. Power came at the cost of social order, and those who crossed it paid dearly. Seidr was a craft as much as a ritual, requiring tools steeped in mysticism. The Viviga staff, often iron or wood, was a symbol of authority, believed to channel spiritual energy. A grave in Birka, Sweden, contained a staff with bronze fittings, suggesting its ritual significance. Runes, too, played a role carved on wood or bone, they could bind spells or summon spirits. A chilling find in Denmark revealed a bone fragment inscribed with runes invoking a draugr to curse a rival, hinting at Seidr's darker applications. Perhaps most shocking is the use of psychoactive substances. Henbane, found in several Völva graves, could induce visions or delirium, amplifying the trance state. Some scholars speculate cannabis or mushrooms were also used, though evidence is scarce. These drugs allowed Völvas to travel to other realms, but at a cost overuse could lead to madness or death. The poetic Edda hints at Völvas collapsing after rituals, their bodies drained by the spiritual toll. This wasn't just sorcery. It was a dangerous dance with the mind and soul. Beyond prophecy, Seidr had a sinister edge, the power to curse and control. Practitioners could weave Seidr spells to bring misfortune, illness, or death. The Grettir saga tells of a woman using Seidr to curse a warrior by carving runes on a log, which caused his downfall. More chilling were tales of soul manipulation. Völvas could allegedly trap a person's spirit, binding it to their will. A lesser-known saga fragment describes a Völva forcing a man's soul to linger in his body after death, preventing his rest in the afterlife. These practices were so feared that communities sometimes executed suspected Völvas. A 9th century grave in Norway contained a woman with a broken neck, buried face down, a sign of ritual killing to prevent her spirit from rising. Such acts reveal the paradox of Seidr. It granted immense power, but marked its wielders as threats, their lives as precarious as the forces they commanded. Seidr's influence lingers in the shadows of Viking lore, its secrets only partially unearthed. Recent archaeological discoveries, like a ritual site in Norway with rune-inscribed bones and a staff, suggest Seidr was more widespread than previously thought. Unlike the public spectacles of Viking sacrifices, Seidr was intimate, its rituals hidden in forests or longhouses, making it harder to trace. Yet, its impact was profound. Völvas shaped destinies, their words sparking wars or saving tribes. The sinister allure of Seidr lies in its defiance of Viking norms. It empowered women in a warrior-driven world, yet condemned men who sought its power. It offered glimpses of the future, but at the risk of madness or death. As we uncover more graves and sagas, Seidr remains a haunting reminder of a people who didn't just worship their gods. They wrestled with them, their souls entwined with the forbiddens. What other secrets of this dark art lie buried, waiting to whisper their truths?